Oh, no.
Peace, peace,
Always
everybody.
me.
Welcome to Three Spiritual Chicks, episode 14. We are already on episode 14. Ain't that something? I am Jazz, aka Jazz the Medium.
I'm Rose Red.
I am Joy, aka A Joyous Connection, and today we have a special guest, which is Mo Betta, known as Monique Whiteside. She is a Uzui Reiki master, right? Motivational speaker, an actress, um,
Hey.
and a lot of other things. A mother, a friend. We've known each other for a while, a long time. She's my daughter's godmother, actually. Too.
Oh,
Um,
hey.
yeah. hmm
Welcome.
Thank you guys so much for having me. It's had to get pushed off for a couple of times, but everything has divine timing. So I'm glad to be here with you guys.
And we're glad to have you.
Thank you.
All right. So yeah, we are bringing Mo on today because, as y'all know, if y'all been watching the last couple readings that we've had when we're doing our readings at the end, a lot of cards have been coming up as far as shadow work.
Mhm.
Most of our readings has been saying shadow work, whether it's Aquarius, whether it's a Libra. Every week is some shadow work. So we was like, what's best to bring in the shadow work queen, my girl Mo, to
Uh,
talk about shadow work and things. So before we
uh,
get started though, we have a little announcement, little promo.
Oh, so we got our cups in. So I just want to say thank you to Shelia, my coworker that made our cups for us. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Oh, I forgot.
What y'all drinking in y'all cups?
yeah, what do y'all?
Water.
I'm not telling. Take a wild guess. Okay.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I was gonna put some tequila in here, but I opted for apple juice. So I got apple juice.
I plead the fifth.
So Mo, how we normally start off is we do like 5 fun facts
Ooh,
before we ask questions or you go into shadow work. So if you can
ooh.
get us 5 fun facts.
Oh, okay. Five fun facts. Oh my gosh, am I not fun? Um,
Of course you are.
oh my gosh, my son was born on his due date. I think that's a really fun fact. Um, oh my goodness. I love to read. I am currently trying to read 2 books a month. I'm behind, but that's how life goes. Um, hmm, a third fact, fun fact. Um, oh my gosh. Oh, I am currently, well, I have just started back practicing my henna tattoo um
Ooh.
artistry or whatnot. I'm delving more back into that, into my henna. So that's a fun fact. Um, number four, oh wow. Um, hmm. I love zip lining. Zip lining is super fun
Okay.
to I did it for the first time like 2 years ago. And I would love to do it again. It's so exhilarating. And number five, um, wow. I have been interviewed by my local news station, and I've also been interviewed for the newspaper. So that's,
Okay.
yeah, that was a huge accomplishment for me, especially in this small little town of Shelby. So yeah, that's little fun Mo.
Hey, well, congrats to you on that.
Mhm.
Definitely share once it's aired.
Thank you, thank you.
I got
I got a
before
fun fact. Oh, go ahead, Jess.
my
I was
daughter
gonna
was
say,
on her due date too. Is your son very prompt?
Yes, he is. He he is
So is
very.
mine. I was just wondering.
Oh yes, for sure.
Everything has
Also,
to be
that's the correlation for them being born on their due date, so they want to,
Yeah.
Everything be on
All-
time.
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
All the details laid out. Yeah.
Yep, that's her personality. Mhm.
Okay.
Hmm. I got another fun fact about Mo that she ain't mentioned. She was in my first film, or it was actually a play.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
That, that is how we met. Yes. Yeah.
and she introduced me to my husband.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, so you the matchmaker. Okay.
Yes. For other people, I guess. Oh, but yes, I love the friendship. I love the bond. I feel like there's a reason that we have stayed connected this long. Friendships come and go, but
Hmm.
it has been a staple. Me and her, and so I'm grateful and I'm blessed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what is shadow work? We could begin there.
Okay, so in order to know what shadow work is, we have to know what the shadow is and where it came from, right? So the shadow is, in not so many words, the subconscious or unconscious, I'll use those words interchangeably, those parts of us that we don't want to identify with, right? And when I say parts, I mean emotions, those negative emotions, right? Anger, greed, envy, frustration, all of these negative, low vibrations that we don't want to feel or that we don't want to display. We kind of push those to the side, right? Right. We suppress them. We don't want people to see that side of us. But what happens is when you suppress those hidden parts of yourself, it's going to come out unexpectedly, right? It's going to come out in fits of rage, in fits of sadness, in bits of projection onto other people. And so it's important to do the shadow work so that you can heal those parts of yourself, right? We're not trying to be separate from the shadow because that's not possible, right? The goal is to kind of integrate those feelings, integrate and balance those feelings, right? We're human. We're going to be angry. We're going to be all of these things, but we have to have control over them. We have to kind of step back and be the observer and not get so caught up and not be so ready to react when something triggers us.
Okay, so what led you down this path?
Well, I've been on my spiritual journey, wow, probably about 7, 8 years now. And so on that journey, you learn different things, different healing methods, different modalities. Um, and shadow work is a part of that awakening, if you will. Taking the time to notice those parts about yourself that you kind of don't like, or those parts that you've been suppressing again, right? So um, I knew that in order to keep progressing on my journey, to keep healing, I had to address those parts of myself. I had to do that work, no matter how painful it was, um, no matter how far back I had to go. In order to progress, you have to face those things, to confront them as they come up.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
So, question for this is a question for everybody. And I'll start with Rose Red, and we'll just work our way around. What are some exercises or some ways you handled some of your shadow work in the recent past, and how do you think you can perfect it?
So how do you think I can perfect it?
Or like not perfect it, I use the wrong word. Or is there like is there like a different way or better way? Because I will say this. I'm so happy that you're here, and I'm so happy that joy and you're here because shadow work is a difficult subject. And
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people they don't know how deep shadow work is, it's a lot deeper than a journal that you fill in a few blank spots. Shadow work is deep, and a lot of people don't know that. So that's why I think this episode is very important that we talk about, because it comes along with spirituality and spiritual growth and evolution.
Yeah, for sure.
So, Rose.
So, um, it's definitely true that it comes up on this spiritual journey. Um, because as I've said several times, I'm the runner, I'm the track star, which obviously that came with learning some things and having to do some shadow work. So one of the biggest ways for me that I helped heal some of my childhood trauma is writing letters to those that I felt anger, animosity um towards. And to be transparent right now, I talk about my mama a lot, and that's who's been on my ass, but I actually had to write a letter to her as well. So that's one of the biggest things that has helped me is writing letters and addressing those people. I also had to write a letter to my younger self. Still dealing with some things because I'm definitely learning that it's never ending. You get to a point and then something happens and you're like, well, damn, I thought I was, over this, or I thought I got through that hurdle or jumped that hurdle, and then there's a bigger hurdle and a bigger hurdle. So it's definitely true that the spiritual journey, there's a lot of, there's many ebbs and flows. And as Jazz has mentioned before, we definitely are not perfect. We're learning and evolving every day. Um, so I would say the main thing for me to do better in the shadow work is acknowledging it and stop trying to run away from it. Cause I'm someone that will yeah, I'll run. Be like, this shit too difficult right now. I don't feel like doing it and I won't do it. And then it'll pop up with something else. So that will be my advice to others.
Okay. All right. So I guess it's my turn. So some ways that I've did shadow work. So I've definitely did the letters. Um yeah, I definitely have did the letters. I actually also did like I guess it would. I'm not sure what you would call it, but I'm gonna make up what I would call it. A visualization of me sitting down with my young self, sat in a little quiet space in my room, and just kind of talk to my young self, as if she was sitting right there, in front of me, and just went through it. Ended up opening up some things that I thought that I never thought that I never thought in the grown life, like that I still like was dealing with and things. So, and kind of not forgave myself, but kind of explained to my younger self that like some things that may have happened in my childhood and things, maybe my parents didn't know, certain things, or it was okay to be this person, um, the person I am now versus the person who was kind of a little chill and things like that, who just kind of let people walk over. So I've done that. I've also taken one of Mo's classes that she had on shadow work there. Um, yeah, it's like a not a daily process, but the longer that you are on a spiritual journey, as Jess and Tiara stated, as well as Mo, it's always like kind of something that you figure out like, dang, I haven't dealt with that yet. I haven't dealt with that yet. Oh, or maybe you thought you did. You maybe have dealt with like a little small piece of it, and then it comes back up. So now you got to go back and write, and you got to figure out why you having these thoughts. So it's just journaling, sitting down with myself, and let's see, meditation sometimes help me when it comes to shadow work, just being honest, because it takes me to a different place um of not thinking, because I'm an overthinker, so that also helps as well.
I definitely agree. Everything Joy has said. The inner child meditation. Oh my gosh. I'm a meditation coach, and so that's one of my specialties. And um, like Joy said, just having that inner child moment, having that conversation with your inner child. Even myself, I have had conversations with the people that did hurt me. um Even though they're not there physically, it's not for them, it's for me. So definitely meditation, getting to that place of being able to be in the present, so that you can deal with, going back in the past and healing those things. Definitely journaling. I do a what I call is like being the observer. So for a week, right, you observe how you react to people, how you respond to people. Like if someone says something that triggers you, you go home and you write that out. Okay, why did this trigger me? Where did this come from? How could I have handled this better? Right? Just taking that accountability for yourself to yourself. Um, and then just having that compassion with yourself, right? Like you guys said, this is not a linear thing. Healing is not linear. And so it's kind of like layers of an onion. Right? You think you're to the core, but it's like, no, we do have to continue to heal this thing, and that's okay. Healing to me is kind of like it's kind of like when you have a cut or a bruise or whatever, right? You have the bruise, and then, okay, oh my gosh, this pain is horrible. And then you start to patch it up. Okay, it feels a little bit better, but it still hurts a little bit. Um, and then it's healing, it's doing good, but you may bump your hand and, oh, it's hurting all over again now, right? So you have to take your time and have compassion and give yourself grace, right? Give yourself grace, because this stuff didn't just happen yesterday. This is 20, 30, 40, 50 years of things that has not been addressed. So you have to, like I said, give yourself that compassion and that grace, and get to a point of uh, being groundedness, so that you can have uh, that power and that forgiveness for yourself and for other people.
I love the way you use the cut or the bruise as a reference. Another reference I was thinking about in regards to like cuts and bruises and wounds. I'm a nurse by trade,
Oh,
and sometimes you get patients and they'll heal over top of the wound, but underneath the wound it burrows, so it's not healed. And then all of a sudden something happens to where they bump it, or we notice something, and when you open it up, it's this deep wound. And I
Mhm.
think the biggest thing with shadow work is making sure we're going deeper than surface level, because a lot of the time we don't go deep enough and we just heal it over just enough so that it doesn't hurt anymore. So we
Mhm.
don't have to feel it anymore. So that we don't have to think about it no more. But that wound has already burrowed all the way down and it's already festered. So you're killing yourself from the inside out, and you don't even realize it because you planted this fresh new skin over this wound that needs to be healed. And I see it all the time in the medical field. So that's something I like to compare it to. Um, and like you said, a lot of that stems from childhood. Um, one of my struggles with shadow work was, as a child, I had experienced so much trauma. I suppressed it so much to where I didn't remember any of it.
wow.
Mm.
I responded like I was a person who had went through a lot of trauma. I was very angry, fought a lot. I was promiscuous. I was all over the place. It was very hard to calm me down, and couldn't nobody figure out why, and I didn't even remember. But when I embarked on my spiritual journey and I started doing a lot of meditations, that's when that stuff starts coming up, and you're having these dreams, and you're just like, did that happen? And then you're like, oh my God, it did happen. And then all these memories start flooding back. and then that's when you really start to work on that. So I agree with all of you that that inner child piece, that healing is very very important, especially when it comes to we lost Joy.
Oh no.
Focusing on the inner child and
Right.
journaling. Journaling is probably my number one thing to do. My favorite.
Favorite. Yeah. Hmm.
Hmm.
So I want to
No, here she
piggyback on
goes.
what you said, Mo. The you just gave me an idea when you said like for a week you write down when you get home you write down things that triggered you. I'm going to borrow that. I'm definitely going to borrow that. So thank you for sharing that piece.
Most definitely. Most definitely. You can't begin to address those things until they're in your face. And there's been times where, you know, before my shadow work, where I would go off on people, and I'm like, gosh, it really didn't warrant that type of response.
Mm,
I have to go back and like, okay, girl, like what's going on? Like it's
mm-hmm,
deeper than them. I always say like 98 to 99% of the time when people have reactions towards you like that, it's totally them, right? It's nothing that you've done. It's just something that they're dealing with that they haven't expressed or they don't know how to communicate. We do a lot of projecting. We do a lot of projecting when we could just stop, acknowledge it, allow yourself to feel it, and then proceed. A lot of the times we feel like um, that we have to get over things or get through things, but there are some things in our lives that we just have to learn to deal with. We have to live with them, right? Um, and that takes radical acceptance, that takes radical forgiveness within yourself and for other people. But with that, it brings radical peace as well. So um, just giving ourselves permission to not have such of a tight rein on things, a tight hold onto things. Um, life is gonna happen, but we just have to be equipped during those times to not let it overwhelm us, to not let us overreact in ways that we're gonna regret a couple of hours later, right? Saying things to our family members, to our partners, to our coworkers. It's like, oh man, that really wasn't me. So just really taking that accountability.
Mm.
yeah.
And that's, go ahead, T.
Nah, I was just gonna say, yeah, listen to what she said, and in my mind, I'm like, yeah, letting go of that control, with certain things. So,
Hmm. Hmm.
And that's
Right.
one thing that's hard for people to do is kind of hold themselves accountable for actions, because a lot of times what happens is it's always like a blame game, like, oh, woe is me, you did this to me, you did that to me, versus being able to actually sit back and say, hey, what did I do to cause this? Or could I have did something than different maybe and I'm fine with using my personal example there. So we had a situation with me and my husband um a while ago. But in that scenario with us talking it out, I had to take a step back and say, hey Joyous, you know what, he told you these issues and you just sat here like you wasn't even trying to listen to it. You was like, oh, all right, well, that's his issue. It ain't my issue. So hey, but when the stuff happened. So that was me, once I sat back and kind of really looked at it, I was like, okay, let me take some accountability on my actions as well and not just sit here like, oh, woe is me. So
Hmm. One of my mentors told me something, and I tell you, when she first told me this a long time ago, it was so hard for me to accept. I was so mad at her. I was like, but she said, everything that happens to you is your fault. And
mm,
I could not take that because I'm like, there's no way my trauma as a child was my fault. I didn't choose that. And she said, yes, you did. She said, your soul made that contract before you came here, and your soul chose to come here and have these experiences. So she said, I need you to stop. This doesn't excuse their actions now. But she said, you can sit here and you can blame these people and be mad at these people the rest of your life. Or you can see what you can learn from it, how you can grow from it, and how your soul can evolve from it. And at that moment, it took me years to accept what she said. Matter of fact, I didn't talk to her for like 3 weeks. That's hard when you be like, okay, somebody took advantage of me. You was a child. So, oh, yeah, it's your fault. And I was like, but I think that conversation right there. I had a long conversation with her, but that's what really pushed me into my shadow work because it was much easier to blame them.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just blame. It's not my fault. It happened to me. They did it. It was much easier. But when she was like, now I want you to sit down and critically think through this and critically feel through this because I'm really good with shutting my emotions off. I tend to suppress a lot. She said, and feel through this. So I feel like that anger she got out of me, it was much needed, but it forced me to start really peeling back those layers and looking like, okay, why am I here? Why did my soul choose this lifetime? Why did I make these choices? What am I to learn from this? How can I help others once I heal from this? Things of that nature. So
That's a hard pill to swallow. I still be trying to figure that one out. Like, I chose this life. What? What?
Yeah, yeah, that
Mm.
definitely. Yeah, cause look, y'all know me. I have questions, so we may have to do a episode on soul contracts. Cause yeah, I got questions on that. But yeah.
It's I have delved in that so much. I have gone down that rabbit hole, and the thing that resonates the most to me is like, um, no matter what your purpose is or what you feel you came here to do,
Mhm.
like you said, it's just an experience, right? You're here to experience, to
mhm.
raise the collective consciousness, right? To raise the vibration, and that's it pretty much, right? Like there's I feel like we put so many rules and, oh, what am I supposed to be doing here? Like, no, just
Mhm.
be you. Like, you being you is the
Mm,
mission. You being you is the purpose. Who you touch is who you touch. Who you speak to is who you speak to. Like, we make it so much more complicated sometimes, but I feel like we're put here to experience those things and feel those things so that we can help each other and raise the collective.
That's it.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
yeah.
the energy definitely be because my candle is jumping right now. So yeah, that. Thank you for that perspective.
Oh,
I didn't
Uh
really.
oh,
Oh, we lost
we
her.
lost Mo. She'll be back.
Mhm. I didn't really realize it until I started connecting with other women. And,
Mm,
and it sometimes we feel like when we went through things, we're the only person that went through something.
mm,
You know,
okay.
sometimes you feel like you're the only one, and you're the only one that's had been through this, or you're the only one that's got to do shadow work in this area. And sometimes you just need somebody to say, I have to, or I've been there too. Me
mm,
too. Me too. How many times have you felt like you went through something by yourself and you meet somebody else and be like, you got through this too? Like, how
mm,
can we all come on here and say we've all lost our mothers? There are people out here who wouldn't know what to do if they lost their mothers or they had to go through that type of trauma. But we have. You know what I
mm,
mean? I remember having that fear. Like, every time my mama got sick, oh my God, what I'm going to do if I lose her? What I'm going to do without her? And then finally, you go through it and you go through that healing stage. Like, I have a
mm,
friend that lost a mother, and I called her and I said, look, there is nothing I can say or do that can help relieve any of that pain. There is nothing. I'll just annoy you if I try, you know. But I can tell you that you were here with me when my mom passed away, and
mm,
I'm here for you if you need me. If you just want to hug, if you
mm,
want to cry, if you want a punching bag, I'll order you a punching bag off of Amazon right now. Whatever you need to do. If you need to
mm.
be left alone and closed down for a while, whatever you need, because we've all been there before. we know what that type of pain feels like to lose somebody close to us that we love very much.
Yeah,
So we're just here to help each other.
right.
Mhm.
There's
But that's
nothing
the
new.
power of the community.
Power of the community.
Mm, yeah.
Mhm.
Which is why they brought us together.
So
Mo
Mo,
also lost her mom as well. Um,
oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
mhm.
Okay, so you
Well, my
understand.
condolences.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
How long has it been?
Oh my gosh. It has been since 2007.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
2007.
Okay, well, peace and blessings be upon her.
Thank you. Thank you.
You looked like your mother.
No, I did.
Did you feel like you didn't feel like you did?
Yeah, I look like my dad for sure.
I always ask people that because sometimes I feel like as we get older, we start to become our moms in a way. You
Yeah.
know, we can't help it. We start to look like them or become them. Like a lot of people, they see me now, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you have become your mother." And then I didn't always look exactly like her. As I
Oh,
age, I start to see her. But I want to
Mhm.
know more about you, Mo. Like what services do you offer? What brought you down that path? How do you serve others?
well, my my spiritual awakening journey began after I experienced my second miscarriage. Um, I was basically just looking for answers in all of the places. Nothing was resonating with me. And then I just kind of had this moment. Um, I was kind of at the bottom, but spirituality, um, it made the most sense to me. It's what resonated with me. It is what comforted me. And it's what helped me heal. And so I feel like if I could get through those trying times, right, it's my uh, passion and purpose to help other people as well. So I am a spiritual coach. So for those that are uh, just beginning on their journey, or if you're on advanced on your journey, we all have questions. I am here to help guide on the path. I'm also a meditation coach. And that kind of ties in with the public speaking. So I go to different schools, organizations,
Mm.
corporations, and I teach them how to meditate, pretty much the history, the benefit, and how to create their own routine, right? How to have that mindfulness and that peace in their life. And then I'm also a Reiki master. I put the hands on people, so um, all of those modalities have helped me in my personal life. So I'm always grateful to extend that to my clients and um, help aid them in their journey.
I have a question for you. You mentioned that you do a meditation coach. You go around to schools. So when you go to the schools, are you working with the students?
Yes, with the
Oh,
students. Yes, a lot of the times, uh, in the past, I have done it mostly around like end of the year when they're getting ready for the big end of grade test, right? That's when a lot of
mm,
anxiety comes and worry comes, and so I teach them how to, remain calm and help them get through the test, or just sometimes a lot of the kids were dealing with peer pressure and bullying and stuff like that. So teaching them how to uh, handle those things um, in a appropriate way, right? To not
mm,
suppress things, to address them, to heal them, and to just have that time to themselves to teach them at a young age. Like I wish if I learned meditation at a young age, I would have gotten through so many more things, easier. Life isn't going to be, easy all the time, but I would have been more prepared. I would have been more equipped.
mm.
So that's my mission for going to the schools and also the corporations, right? Helping adults learn how to calm down from that hustle and bustle. We're always going,
Mm.
flowing. So we have to take that time for ourselves as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I asked that because you see a lot of like research now of the um I guess the biggest thing is like the behavioral changes with children who are able to do meditation, especially because I'm here in Maryland outside of Baltimore. So and they've been like showing different studies and different outcomes of the kids having meditation um, to, and it's been helping with behavioral concerns. So,
Right. I can believe that for sure.
yeah, because kids don't like to sit still. So,
Right.
we all know that.
Right.
So, that's
I
awesome.
absolutely admire how you are working with the youth because it starts there.
Hmm.
Right.
Hmm.
Like you said, if somebody could have taught me how to meditate and do things like that as a child, and how to, because I'm teaching I have custody of my 3-year-old niece, temporary custody, and right now we are learning emotional regulation. Which I
Right.
don't use the word meditate with her, but whenever she gets emotional, I say, let's sit down and be quiet for a minute,
Yeah.
and I'll turn off the TV or turn on some relaxing music, and then we'll just talk about it. So I kind of give her the stage to talk about, how she feels, so she can understand how she feels, or
Right.
she can understand her actions. So I just wish that we had more of that. I'm just so happy that you're doing it in schools too, because a lot of stuff is not being done at home.
Right.
A lot of there are adults out here that can't regulate their own emotions. So imagine trying to teach and show children how to do it.
Right.
So
Yes.
I really admire um, everything that you do.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
So Joy mentioned that you have a few classes.
Yes. Okay. So it's so funny that you guys said that. So yes, I do offer the shadow work classes. I have not done them in a while. I've kind of been, I guess you could say, off the radar. I've just been kind of elevating in my own life, if you will. And that's going to help me with my clients and with those that come to me. So, but yes, I do offer shadow work classes. I am going to be starting up kind of like I guess, a spiritual group, like a spiritual tribe, where we meet like maybe twice a month, like calls like this, and we just discuss different topics, different spiritual awakening topics. Um, different healing exercises, things like that. So, the shadow work classes for sure. I teach you, of course, the history of it, the benefits of it, and how to do it. Then also the meditation classes. We can do virtually, or I can come to your location. Um, I, I would love to do more of like women's group, women's empowerment events to come in and teach them how to relax and de-stress and things like that. So, um, but yeah, those are the mainly the two classes that I specialize in.
That's amazing.
And if when we were talking about Reiki, um like 2 episodes ago, I think 2 or 3 maybe. Um Mo was the one that I went to when I was saying had me on that table crying.
Mhm.
Doing the Reiki healing, but I felt energized. She made sure that she put back energy, but I felt energized afterwards. I wasn't like exhausted.
Yeah, and that's, oh my gosh, I love the power of Reiki. I have had that. I have had that. Um, I have had that reaction, and so many others. Right? It's amazing to see how the body releases trauma, and how it heals. And every time it happens, I'm always so grateful. Like my heart is so full that, for one, the client trusts me to do that, and for two, that that I even have this gift, this ability to help others, uh, to help aid others in moving that healing along, to addressing those issues so that we can resolve them, so that you can have a peaceful life, as peaceful as it can be. We don't want to be working against ourselves. We want to rid ourselves of that toxicity, of anything that is holding us back.
If anyone wanted to get a hold of you, how would they do that?
They can definitely email me at Mo Betta Motives LLC at gmail.com. And I
Say that
have a
again. It's Mo Better what?
Mo Betta Motives, Motives Motives, Mo Betta Motives LLC
Hmm.
at gmail.com. And then I have a booking website that I can send you guys the link to if you can paste it in the comments. But yeah.
Hmm. What's your booking site?
I think it's through Simply Book. Simply Book. I have
Okay.
yeah.
I just put your email up for now.
Okay.
Just want to make sure it's down there. Did I got it? I got it right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that people can see that and they can see how to
Yeah.
get in contact with you and with your blessing. I'll send people your way.
Oh, thank
Um,
you.
'Cause just to find it's very rare to find people who can articulate what shadow work is, to break it down, and how to go through stages to heal it. People just tell you, "Oh, you just need to do shadow work," and some people just be like, "Well, what that mean?
What is it?
What does that look like?" Even I have trouble articulating. All I can do is tell people what I do, and what I do may not work for other people.
Mhm.
So finding exactly what type of shadow work you need to do, how do you step into that radical acceptance, and what exercises work for you,
Right,
um, so that you can get through it. Because, like you said, our shadow is already always there. We can't get rid of that shadow.
right,
I just think sometimes it just needs a bit of acknowledgement, and acceptance.
for sure.
Mhm.
Any lasting comments, ladies?
I just want to say that yeah, I'm going to be using that thing that you represented it because also one of the things I thought my road rage was gone, but nah. I got to do some more work.
Mm, yeah,
Granted, because of how times have changed, and like Jazz, I work in healthcare as well, and I always get that one patient that you just got to be like, just take a breath, slow down, repeat what you said. But yeah, it's yeah, the commute and driving into the city now. Yeah, there are times I have to calm myself down because, I'm realizing, well, of course, we all know with everything going on, we're able to recognize like there's just that one thing that's just going to cause somebody to snap. So I'm being mindful of that, so I don't have any altercations on my way to work. But yeah, I'm gonna have to figure. I'm gonna have to do some shadow work to figure out why the road rage comes back. I'll be emailing you to see
I
what
can see her
techniques
beeping
you
to myself.
have.
Like, you better be lucky I'm doing shadow work. That hard to it just shadow work. It never stops over the weekend. Just a quick story time. I was out with my boyfriend, and we get along really well. And I keep telling him when we go out, like, look, I don't like to stay out too late. And somehow we always end up staying out later than usual because he just be like, give me a few more minutes, baby. Give me a few more minutes. So we pulled up to the spot. We ready to get out, and he was like, "I gotta stop at one more spot after this," and I just lost it. I was like, "I told you I wanted to go in the house," and then he was like, "But hey, but I have never raised my voice at this man not one time, and we've been together almost 2 years. I have never." So he's just his eyes are like this. He already got bug eyes, and he's like,
mm, man.
and so then the rest of the we sat in the car for a while, quiet. I looked at him, and he looked at me, and he says, "It hurts my feelings when you raise your voice at me like that." And it about broke.
Oh,
I said it has nothing to do with you, but I had to sit there and critically think about why I chose to respond emotionally like that. Well, what was wrong? And then I remember as I was talking to him, I said, every time I tell you I'm ready to go or I don't want to go, sometimes I feel like I'm not being
Mhm.
heard. You know, you're not
Mm,
hearing me, you're not listening to me. So then when I thought deeper on it, when I was journaling the next day, I remember being a child and not being heard.
mm,
I remember telling my mom, like, don't leave, I don't want to stay over here. I don't want to
yeah.
be over here. And she left me anyway, or
Mm,
I don't want to do this, or I want to do that. And I'm like, okay, so the issue is not necessarily him. I
mm,
just don't like to be when I feel like I'm not being heard, especially when I'm expressing something that's overwhelming or emotional to me. So I was able to sit down and explain it to him once I thought about it and I journaled through it. And that's like a surface level of shadow work, but I knew that my response had nothing to do with him. But
mhm,
it was the inner child Jasmine saying, "Listen to me.
right, right.
Mhm. Mhm.
I am telling you, I don't want to do this. I don't like this. It's
mm,
uncomfortable. I don't want to be around a whole bunch of drunk men in the bar at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's uncomfortable. No matter how safe you can keep me, I don't like it."
Yeah,
mm,
So I just think being able to see where these things are coming from, I think sometimes that's the hard part because once we're in that emotional state, it's hard to step outside of it and say, okay, why did I just get mad like that?
right.
Mhm.
well, that just
So
goes to show y'all level of communication because you were able to talk through it, and for him to say it, back to you and not match your energy, so to speak. So that definitely, you know, kudos to that.
Right.
Definitely, you got the communication in your relationship, and I'm glad you were able to recognize that.
it shows growth because the old me probably
Mm.
would have went with him in the bar and swung at somebody for no reason. She looking at me. Come on.
And if that would have happened, we would not be here tonight, folks.
Right.
Okay.
Not ever try to be after justice. So
Your mama
growth.
said, "Get it together."
And also, people recognize, slow growth. It don't happen overnight. It's a
Mhm.
Oh,
we
not at all.
we all been doing shadow work for years.
Right.
You're a pro. You probably still do shadow work. You still probably
Right.
journal when you got your exercises. And I
Most
feel like
definitely.
you're a pro because you can teach it. Once you get to a
Hmm.
point where you can teach something, you're pro.
Oh,
You're the expert. So
I am doing my best,
very
child.
well did.
You doing your thing?
And I love your energy, by the way, too. It's just
Oh,
beautiful. Very
thank
beautiful.
you.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Mhm.
But the crazy thing is your energy, it comes off very warm, um, almost hot. There's like a heating element to your energy. I don't understand what it is, but I'm sitting there, my dad, I'm hot. I'm hot. But I noticed that when you went off briefly, I cooled down a little bit. And then when you got back on, I started to heat back up.
Oh,
It's funny
So
that you
that's
say that because I'm over here like, yeah, she's been glowing. Like
uh-huh.
that's how I can explain it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you explained the jazz, because honey, I was over here too. I'm thinking, okay,
You
so
hot?
it makes sense. I'm so serious. Yeah, but it's
I'm
like
sitting
blowing on my
there like,
back.
and it's not like an artificial hot to where something hot in here is energetic. You can tell the difference. Because like my hands and my are hot, and I'm just like, this has to be hurt. When you blinked off a little, I just cooled down like, and then as
wow.
soon as you came back on, it was like,
Ah,
so
well,
you're
listen.
definitely naturally a healer.
I
Oh,
was I was getting ready to say that because I was thinking the hands with the Reiki.
oh, well, listen.
Definitely.
Anytime I can send some positive energy, right? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it because we all need it. And then I've learned that I had to accept that about myself. Like, I do have um, this spirit about me that um, I just want if you come in contact with me, you're gonna have a good day. You're gonna be in a good mood. You know, even if you're not in the best of moods, we're gonna try to get you in a good mood. So I've I've
Mhm.
I've always prided myself on that, just being a light, right? Just being a light in people's lives.
That's so usually towards the end of the show we pull a card or so. I didn't know if that was something you wanted to do. We didn't discuss that before pressing record, or is
Yes, of
there
course.
anything you want to do? Of course, this is a development platform.
Okay.
And these two wonderful ladies, I think I could quit calling that because they almost like pros at
Oh,
this. Um, but
I'm
we
totally
can
down.
see, is there a specific question or an area of your life you would like us to look into, or a general, or I call it a general soul with extra sauce?
Ooh. I wonder how. I am questioning how, with me coming back into my, with pushing my spiritual services out more, I am a little bit hesitant because I have some doubt that people may not believe in me anymore like they did before. So I'm having a little bit of doubt of, okay, should I really do this? Are they really going to believe in me still?
So, I'm sorry. I'm going to jump in real quick. Um, so the first thing I get that's coming to me is yes. However, before that can happen, baby, you got to believe in yourself. You got to have the confidence within yourself. And you know your shit. Pop your collar, okay? Um with that, I believe the fear that you have is because you've taken a step away. However, you sharing your story as to how you took the break and where you are now is going to attract more people to you.
Wow.
Okay? Because you're being transparent. And as we just mentioned earlier, it's about that community, right? So you're going to meet, as you want to say, you want to meet your tribe. You're going to find those people that have already been there or may be able to help you see a different perspective than where you were or than where you are now. But it starts with you. It starts with you.
Yeah.
Okay. You
Yeah.
got this. It's going to be successful. You got your own unique thing going on, especially like Jazz mentioned earlier with the youth and the kids. That's something that's definitely needed. And I'm sure that the schools that you're going to notice, if they were to do a study, there's a correlation between you doing the meditation and test results.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've got this. I'm sorry, y'all.
Mhm. Oh, I accept that. Phew.
You're good. Yeah, I agree with Tiara. You definitely have it. I think some of the doubt though, um, comes from maybe and I'm just gonna say it. So maybe that you may feel like there may people may may judge you per previous scenarios and things like that, or things. Yeah, I just pick up more so previous scenarios that you feel like people may judge you and not believe in you on that way. What I'm gonna say is to hell with them. Okay, so regardless of what they may have thought you are, or their perception of you, that doesn't matter and that doesn't dictate where you're going. Um, because this is all a part of your journey. This is what you're supposed to be doing. This is what you're called to do. I did just pull some cards, and the cards definitely said, um, your energy is gaining momentum and balance spirituality and practicality. Um, so, yeah, I would say definitely you'll be okay. Don't worry about what people have to say. Those people who are going to be drawn to you, it may not be some of the old people that you have, right? It may be some new people because of where you currently are. And if it is some of the older people, they're still going to accept you for who you are, because again, you carry a certain light with you that draws people in. So whether it's you messed up or maybe you have did something that people may not necessarily agree with, or you step back just to work on yourself, that's fine. You can do that. We're human at the end of the day. But yep, you're gonna be good, girl. I'll step back. And I'm gonna be like, go mom, go
Thank you. Thank you so much.
mom.
So what I'm seeing here is that somewhere along the line, something caused you to either lose your passion or you felt like your hard work was going unnoticed. So you may have had the perception that you should be further along than what you are. Like the hard work you were putting in, you wasn't reaping the rewards. And I think for anyone who has tried to start any type of spiritual business or anything like that, have felt that way. You know what I mean? And also, I also um, from looking at the cards, I felt like maybe you may have been connected to some people who may have walked away from you, or you felt like distanced themselves from you, or you had to distance yourself from, and it could have been energetically. Because what happens is that as we evolve spiritually, everybody can't go with us. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you had to evolve in what you're doing. So I guess what I can tell you is not to be tied to um what your group is, what your healing is, or like how many people you're going to touch or what your results are going to be. And like you said, just be present. Like you can be present in a room and heal people. Hell, I've been hot since you've been here, and my hip ain't hurt. My hip's been killing me. I have been in like a ton of pain, and just being on this film with you, I just realized that my hip wasn't hurting. I'm like, oh my! I barely got up and logged on. I came home from work and laid down because I was in so much immense pain. I didn't know I was gonna get. I forgot my hip was hurting. Shit. So
Wow.
just you being present says a lot. I do think that once you re-enter it, you're going to re-enter it with a different mindset and a different type of energy. But you're also going to attract your tribe, and I feel like it's going to be a small group of women, with different modalities and different gifts. And I feel like that's when your growth is really going to take place. And
Mhm.
and like and like you said it out of your own mouth. I don't care if you touch 3 lives,
Yeah.
you know. Because sometimes, and I used to be like that. I'd be tied to results because I'm a psychic medium by nature, and I'd be looking at some of those, and I used to compare myself to like celebrities. I could do that. You know what I'm saying? Or why am I here? Like I'm good. Like I'm really good. I'm a high medium. I know I'm good. Like why am I here? Like why isn't my following bigger? But then I had to realize like I'm here to touch who I'm here to touch. It don't matter how big your audience is or how much money you make from it, because you'll probably do it whether you made money from it or not, because it's
Exactly.
naturally what you're here to do. So
Right.
I do see success, but I see your mindset changing around it. You're going to stop being tied to those results, and you're going to appreciate the journey. And at the bottom of the deck, what you didn't see was the star card, the Queen of Cups, and the Empress. So lots of
Wow.
success.
Oh man, thank you guys so much. I needed that so much. And wow. Oh man, yeah. Y'all are developing.
Right. You're not developing. No. They
Oh
pros
man.
now, they got it.
Oh man, what
Goodness. I
that
was
was
watching
absolutely
Tiara's video earlier. I was looking at her video like, man, quit talking to me. Like,
man. Okay, okay. Oh man, you guys have
honey.
amazing gifts. Amazing gifts. Oh, thank you so
Thank
much.
you. You're
Do
You're
welcome.
you
welcome.
have any other questions for us before we close out, or that was all you wanted?
Yeah, that. Oh man, that was that was enough. That got me where I needed to be for sure.
All right. I look
Um,
forward to seeing you more, seeing your face more. So,
Oh, definitely. I was going to say the same thing.
oh, thank you. And same to you guys. I want you guys to keep this up, keep it going, uh, keep having different perspectives, keep sharing your perspectives. Just off of what you guys shared with me, it touched me. So please keep doing this. Please keep it up. I support you guys 100%
Thank
oh, thank you
you.
Thank
so much.
Thank you.
you.
for
Thank
sure.
you.
All right. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. If you would like to connect, our email is mobettamotives, LLC at gmail.com, as you see at the bottom of the screen. She gives shadow work classes, meditation classes, and
Mhm.
also, she'll come to your job or business.
Yes,
Teach y'all a thing or two. Teach
I
y'all a
will.
thing or two. I might have to go talk to my boss to see if I can get you flued out.
Yes,
So we can talk about stuff like
sure.
because those are things I teach at work. So I would love to have you come out.
Oh, I would. Oh, I
But
will be there. I will be there.
thank you so much for gracing us with such beautiful, beautiful, amazing energy.
Yes.
And thank you, Joy, for introducing us to her.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank
Thank
you.
All right.
thank
With
you.
that being said, everybody, peace.
Have a
Have a
good
good night.